Nostalgic old school treats. Some
Yes.
kind of sad news came up this week about an old school favorite actor of mine growing up.
Yeah.
None other than Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis, our boy John McClane himself, is
Yeah.
retiring from acting at the ripe old age of 67 years old. He's developed a medical condition that's been gradually getting worse. It messes with his cognitive abilities and
Aphasia.
his
Yeah.
ability, yeah, aphasia, and it prevents him from being able to communicate properly, and it's making it harder and harder, obviously, for him to do what he does as an
Yeah. To
actor.
understand speech too. Actually, I think
Yeah,
it's harder to speak and harder to understand speech specifically,
yeah,
which is like heartbreaking. Honestly,
yeah. And
this
now
news
he's
really
stepping
upset me.
away. He's stepping away from acting, and so, yeah, that's a big one for me because growing up, like my big heroes growing up in the '90s, you had Van Damme, Schwarzenegger, Stallone, and Willis. Like they were like my action heroes, and
Yeah.
And
They were.
Willis, I remember I still remember when they launched Planet Hollywood. Like that was a restaurant that I had to go to all the time because like these are the coolest men in the world own this place. Who knows if I'm sure if I went back, it was all just like a licensing deal and they had nothing to do with it. But 10-year-old me was all about that life. But yeah, Bruce, I grew up watching his stuff. I love the Die Hard movies. I learned how to rip movies apart by listening to my father and uncle and grandfather rip apart Hudson Hawk with him and Danny Aiello. If you've ever seen that, uh, you know, I've seen him in such a variety of things like Death Becomes Her. To me, he deserves a lot of credit for being a bit of a shapeshifter. People
Yeah.
just look at him as the guy who delivers the one-liners and blows stuff up, but he's actually had a pretty varied career, and he has pushed himself at times. But yeah, in the last 10, 15 years, he's just kind of rested back on the old paycheck, doing the old,
But
Mr. One-liner. Go
I
ahead.
want to mention that it kind of puts the last several
It
years in
does.
context. I think this disease was probably rearing its head, and I
Yeah.
think he was doing gigs where he could get, a quick buck, load up
Yeah.
his bank account, to help, so he could take care of his family and maybe like any medical help he needs, and
Yeah.
things where he could just come on and shoot for like a week or two, and then be
Yeah.
out of there, collect his 1-2 million, move on to the next
Mhm.
one. So, because I
It all
remember
makes sense.
he's been a bit of a butt of a joke, all the straight to DVD films, people comparing him to Nicolas Cage,
Yeah.
and who was doing all these DVD films, in like Mel Gibson and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But now you look at it and you go, it's sad
Oh.
now, and I hope people are. I hope people that were maybe picking on him like kind of see that and maybe backpedal a little bit, and I hope
Mhm.
people aren't gonna use this time to like really like
Yeah,
kick
I
him
know
down.
Kevin Smith completely, like, rescinded a beef that they've had
Yeah,
since
that was
Dropout.
actually really classy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's either way, I wish Mr. Willis well. That was a blow to get this week. And let me ask you before we wrap on Bruce, what was your favorite Bruce Willis movie?
Yeah, so I mean, that's a tough one. I there's so many good Bruce Willis films. I mean, I know it's the easy thing to go for like one of his action films, but
Yeah.
I mean, The Sixth Sense, man, like just that
Oh,
film like left such an impression on me. It blew my
thank
mind.
you.
And I
Yeah.
do want to throw out just kind of like one of my like little like prized possessions. I
Yeah.
have a DVD copy of Bruce Willis. It's a taping of a live theater performance of Bruce Willis performing
What?
True West by Sam Shepard. It was on Showtime some years ago, and I have like a bootleg DVD of it, and I love it. He's really good in it.
I mean, all right. Honestly, I was going to say that. So now I have to go for one of my second or third choices just to vary it because
Yeah,
he is more than John McClane.
yeah,
So let's see. My Bruce Willis favorite, I guess I'm going to have to go with Looper. I loved his movie
that's
with
a really good
Ryan
pick.
Johnson. Yeah. That was an awesome kind of genre bending sci-fi thriller. I thought he was great in it. I'm not sure that Joseph Gordon-Levitt really looks like a younger version of him, but I thought the movie was badass as hell. And honestly, probably one of the last great Bruce Willis movies, going back to
Yeah,
2012 now. But I feel like that's one of the last times where, like, to me, he was at the top of his powers.
yeah.
So Yep, Bruce, enjoy retirement. Hopefully, they figure out a cure for this aphasia stuff, and we can get you back in front of the camera making magic again. But just wanted to kind of send that out there and acknowledge Bruce Willis's impending retirement.